the south of Aberle, near the Gulf of Mexico, on the banks of old Tom Digby, walks an old lost forgotten soul. He was once a man of virtue, 70 legs and he says, Cecilia, I won't let him hurt you. I'll set you free. I'll set you free. 'Cause my love for you is stronger than these plantation walls. Howls at the moon at night.
So hello everybody, welcome to the Red Clay Music Foundry. Thank you so much for coming out this afternoon. Really appreciate you being here. Really excited that we're able to do these little month of Sundays with Shawnee. I've only known Shawnee for a few years, and I've grown to be pretty infatuated with him as a song crafter and a storyteller. And actually, it's more like 30 years, but anyway. All of that's true even for 30 years. And not only that, but he's one of the nicer guys in the business. And you know, we get to, in my end of the business, we get to have to deal with assholes every now and then. And he ain't one of them. And that's really pleasant. And this is also a very appropriate time to say hello to you folks watching online, on EOP Live, on YouTube, and at Shawnee's Space Face Place, and at our Space Face Place, and all those places. So, thank you for tuning in. You'll notice at the top of your screen there's a thing that says tip jar. And it's not going to upset anybody's feelings if y'all just go on and throw a bunch of money in that tip jar during this show. That'd be okay with us. But thank you in advance for your generosity and your support, and thanks for tuning in. There's just one set of music here this evening, so any folks in the room that would like to go to the potty or to the bar, you just feel free to go on out there and come back in. If you use the center aisles, please be aware and careful that there are steps there, and we love songs here. We love songwriters. We don't like acrobatics at all. No tumbling or twisting or jumping, so please be careful on those steps. But you're welcome to go out there and bring whatever you want back into the house with you. I've just become enamored with these little Sunday series. This is our third one. This is our third month of a month of Sundays. And Shawnee's such a great storyteller and a great crafter of song, and it's really entertaining. I know the bar is set when my wife likes to come to these shows. So, because there's, you know, she's heard a lot of music and heard me talk about a lot of music over the years. And when she wants to come to a show, well, I know we've hit the nail on the head, and it's a good thing. So I know you're going to enjoy it. Thank you so much for coming. Sound like you're about 1,000 people, and give a nice welcome to Shawn Mullins.
Thank you. Great to see you. Thanks so much. Appreciate you coming. I'll quote Rafe Hollister from Andy Griffith and say, well, since y'all are sitting down, I'll just sit down too. I just want to light you up like a fire. I just want to turn you on and take you high. Everybody's got a flat screen. Everybody's gotta be seen. Everybody wanna be famous. Ain't nobody gonna blame us. Everybody wants the real deal. Everybody wants to cop a good feel. Everybody want more money.
just want to light you up like a fire, like a fire. I just want to turn you on, take you high. Everybody wants to pick your guitar, and everybody wanna ride in that fast car. Everybody wants a puff of your pipe dream. Everybody wants a lick of your ice cream. Yeah, the preacher wanna tell you about a little right. Your mama and your daddy got you uptight. Your lover gonna go and pick another fight. I just wanna keep you up all night. I just want to light you up, baby, like a fire, like a fire. I just want to turn you on, turn you up and take you higher. Yeah, this world can bring you down, turn your smile to a frown, break your heart and make you sad, drive you stark, raving mad. But I just want to light you up, baby, like a fire. I just want to turn you on, turn you on, turn you on and take you higher. I just want to light you up like a fire. I just want to turn you on and take you high. All right. Thank you. That song's all about trying to get a fire started. I like watching those shows where they're trying to get a fire started without, a match or a lighter. It's good stuff. Hard to do. I've never done that except for with a little ferro rod thing. I've never done it with the, friction and wood or a bow thing. It's very interesting, and I'd like to try that sometime, but I think I might be past my prime on doing that. It takes a lot of energy. So I just write a song instead. Well, I met him on the cliffs of Twin Rocks, Oregon. He was sitting on his bedroll looking just like Richard Brodigan. I thought he was an old man, well, I'm 37. He said he'd been riding trains for 15 years, drawing portraits to keep his belly full of beers. It looked to me like he died and missed the plane to heaven. He's a nice old guy for a younger man. He had a bottle of Mad Dog he held tightly in his hand. And he waved it around a lot, trying to make his point. And I listened as he told his tales of wine and women and county jails. We finished off that bottle, smoked a half a joint. He said, I came here to watch the sun disappear into the ocean. It's been years since I smelled the salty sea. And he turned his bottle up and down. He saw me lost and he saw me found. And he said, I don't know what I've been looking for. Maybe me. Well, I told him I too had been traveling around, just living out of my van from town to town to town, playing for tips and whatever records I could move. I said, I don't reckon I'll be making it big, man. It's hard to get rich off a tour of coffee house gigs. He said, yeah, buddy, but ain't it a blessing to do what you want to do? Yeah, and I told him, yes, I pulled out here to watch the sun disappear into the ocean. It's been years since I've smelled the salty sea. He turned another bottle up and down. He saw me lost and he saw me found. And I said, I don't know what I've been looking for. Maybe me. I said it's getting kind of late. I better be heading down this interstate. Can I give you a lift? I'm headed to San Francisco Bay. He said, nope, I think I'm gonna sit right here and rest. Maybe wait on the Tokyo, Montana Express. I might just lay here and dream my life away. Disappear into the ocean. It's been years, my Lord, now. It's been years. I'm gonna turn my bottle up and down. You can see me lost. You can see me found. I met him on the cliffs of Twin Rocks, Oregon. He was sitting on his bedroll looking just like Richard Brodigan. Just like him. Thank you. Thank you so much.
so nice to be playing in front of live audience again. It's been, yeah. Thank you for coming out and supporting local music and being here. I love this place. It's my favorite place to play in Georgia for sure, and one of my favorite places on the whole planet to play. And back in the old days, I would have said Eddie's Attic, but as soon as Eddie left Eddie's Attic and came here, it became here. It became this was it, and I think for me that so much of there was so much. The spirit of that place had a lot to, of course, had everything to do with Eddie and being behind that bar and starting that whole thing. I helped him paint that place. Me and Uncle Mark Reynolds, we helped him paint that place back in the year when he was right before he opened. And but this is a better sounding space, and we can put more people in it. And I'll tend to follow him wherever he goes. Probably when he retires from this business, if he ever does, I'll go there too. He'll be trying to golf somewhere, and I'll be over on the side, strumming away. Wrote this with my beautiful wife, Amy. She's very talented. She doesn't think she is, but she's got a lot of hidden talents that, like if she happens to draw something, I'm amazed, or if she happens to paint something, I'm amazed. If she writes something. And I've been going through a dry spell, quite a long dry spell with writing. And I'm not sure why that is, but it'll come back, I suppose. But it's nice because I can always think of a melody or whatever, melodies come so easily, but the hard part for me has always been the lyric, and that'll be the hardest thing. I'll work hardest on that, I'll kind of toil on that for a long time. And even though some of my more well-known songs were written probably in 30 minutes without any kind of effort, it's weird, but that was a long time ago. So I'm not sure what that's about. It's a strange thing. I don't know if that's age or whatever. But she wrote this poem. She knew that I was worrying a lot about COVID and all that kind of stuff, and she wrote this poem. She's really into the writer Napoleon Hill, and he talks about this thing that we all go through, and he calls it old man worry. Don't let old man worry get you down, because you probably heard the fact that, if worry doesn't do you any good, it doesn't change the outcome, and when she first told me about Napoleon Hill, I thought she was talking about Napoleon Dynamite, and I said, yeah, I love that movie, But anyway, so she wrote a poem called Old Man Worry, and when I read it, I immediately heard a tune in my head and chords behind the tune, and came up with a song pretty quick on it. Here it is, Old Man Worry. Old man worry, no, you ain't no friend of mine. Though you sat with me through sleepless nights, you were always laughing at my decline. Old man worry, no, you ain't no friend of mine. Clever dark skies, you fill my life with hopelessness, telling me all those wicked lies. Old man worry, you wear a clever dark disguise.
but I'm not gonna worry. I'm not gonna worry. Oh man, worry no more. I said I'm not gonna worry. I'm not gonna worry about your worry. Oh man, worry. You've been a faithful enemy, but it's time for me to say goodbye. Gotta set my sweet soul free. Oh man, worry. You've been a faithful enemy. So I'm not gonna worry. I'm not gonna worry about your worry no more. I'm not gonna worry. I'm not gonna worry. Oh man, worry. I'm not gonna worry no more. You're just an old man. Old man worry. Thanks. Well, Frank don't mind the rain. He kinda digs the sound of Portland in November. Sometimes get you down when you're standing in a doorway trying to keep out of the cold. No one's looking your way. You got no bills to fold. Well, Frank, he don't like begging, but he could use a buck or two. Get a bed down at the mission, maybe sleep a whole night through. Dream about Maria, a girl that he once knew. We all need a little sunshine. We all need a little sunshine. Everybody needs a little sunshine. Too many days, dark and gray. We need a little sunshine. Frank touched down at Pioneer Square, June of 1969. He thumbed here up the West Coast to get the war off of his mind. That's where he met Maria. She made him feel so fine, singing, we all need a little sunshine. She was singing. and so was she, singing in the sunshine, sweet sunshine, yeah. Frank wakes up at sunrise. He hears a distant train. He finds a piece of cardboard in the alley by the drain. He writes his message black and bold, remembers why he came here. We all need a little sunshine. We all need a little sunshine. Everybody needs a little sunshine. Can't take another day. Dark and gray, we need a little sunshine. Little sunshine, just a little sunshine. A little sunshine. Everybody needs, all need little sunshine. All right. We all need a little sunshine. Oh, we all need them. Well, Frank don't mind the rain. He kinda digs the sound. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you so much. I turned 17, spring of 1861, and I killed 20 men before I turned 21. 20 holes and 20 men, 20 holes they's buried in. There they lay in the cold red Georgia clay of Catoosa County. I can hear the screaming, I can smell black powder burning. The cannonballs flying and the Gatling guns are turning. 1,000 souls, 1,000 men, one big hole there's buried in. Shallow graves in the cold hard Georgia cliff, Catoosa County. And the blue and the gray paint the colors of their life, while the old men find a way, send the young men off to die. If I could, I would place $100 billion bounty on the hate that makes the war, that digs the graves of Catoosa County. I can hear the night falling on the hills, and a full moon comes a-shining. I can hear the whippoorwill, and the coyotes go to whining. And all the souls of all the men roll in the holes there's buried in. Blue and gray in the blood-red Georgia clay of Catoosa County. And the blue and the gray paint the colors of their life. And it's true, you can pray, but even God ain't saying why. If I could, oh, I would play $100 billion bounty on the hate makes the wars, that digs the graves of Catoosa County. Thanks. Thank you. I write a lot of songs with Chuck Cannon, and that's one of them. And he's so wonderful. I mean, he's good at all of it, but his lyrics, the way he, it'll kind of hit him like a whole quatrain or a whole stanza of lyrics will hit him all at once. And that happens once in a while to most writers, but it happens with him a lot. And on the morning of his father's passing, he found out, he's in Nashville area, and he found out his dad had died in the Myrtle Beach area. And we had worked on that song, and we had written those verses together, which I love those verses, but we didn't have that whole B section about, and the blue and the gray paint the colors of the lie and all that. And when neither one of us thought we needed it, you know, we just liked the verses the way they were without any kind of B section. We thought it was really cool. And but we figured we might work on it again because we like to do that. We'll get back together and see if it needs anything, you know. But that morning that his father passed away, Chuck said he was in the shower because he was going to drive over to Myrtle Beach and, you know, get there with the family and everything. And he was in the shower, and
that whole thing came to him and while he was taking a shower. And the blue and the gray paint the colors of the lie, while the old men find a way to send the young men off to die. And if I could, I would place $100 billion bounty on the hate that makes the war, that digs the graves of Catoosa County. And he the great part is he left me a voicemail, and in his South Carolina drawl, he said, "Hey, Shawn." He said, "Hey, man, I got good news and bad news. But first, my daddy died, so that's bad news. This morning I found out, and I've got to go over to South Carolina and check on the family and get all that stuff going." He goes, "But the good news is while I was in the shower, I think I wrote a chorus to our new song." And then he said, "What do you think about this?" And he rattles it off on the phone to me, you know. And when I got it, I'm like, "Are you kidding me, man?" This guy. And he's really, truly a brilliant, brilliant lyricist, and I love working with him. If you don't know about him already, check him out online, or definitely come see him here. I think he's playing here in the not too distant future, right? Yeah. No, just look at the Red Clay website, Eddie Owen Presents. And we laugh a lot together, too. That's a nice thing about Chuck and I. Eddie and I share a really dear friend, Larry John Wilson, who passed away years ago, and he was a big influence on me. And before Eddie went on to announce me tonight, he took just a tiny sip of whiskey, you know, and he said, "Oh, I gotta." I said, "Yeah, it's like Larry John used to say, you gotta cut the dust out of your throat a little bit." And Larry John would be on stage, and he'd have him a nice glass of brandy or something, and he'd say, "Back in my drinking days," you know. And but he meant it. It was it was a big difference. He said, "Me and Bear Bryant drank 50 beers one time together." He would say weird stuff like that. You're like, what? But I loved him. He was such a great guy, and he brought me down to the Floribama to a little festival down there a few times called the Frank Brown Festival. And I wrote this song upon leaving that festival. I was about to head to a little gig in New Orleans at a place called the Neutral Ground, which is supposedly the oldest running coffee house in the nation. It's been there a long, long time. I would imagine someone in Boston disagrees with that. They've got a few of them up there too, but the Neutral Grounds definitely goes back quite a long time. So I wrote this about, I guess she was a bartender there, and she was an Air Force wife too. Some of it's about her anyway, and the third verse is more about kind of coming to grips with the fact that I'd been doing this for about 7 or 8 years at the time already. And this was back in 1996 or 7. And I had a terrible back problem because of all the driving I was doing myself. And I don't know why I don't have that anymore. I still have to sit in a van all the time, but for some reason there was a time where I really had trouble with my lower back. And anyway, I was realizing that I was definitely free, and I was doing my own thing, you know, but it had its consequences for sure, you know. It was a payoff there. I guess it's that way for everybody. She cooks him ham and whole cakes at 5:30 every morning. And she does the dishes, and she irons his uniform. And she thinks she might have loved him once, but that was so long ago. And the rain pours down like a holy waterfall over the Gulf of Mexico. The boardwalk's deserted, the beach is all closed down. The middle school punk rockers, they ride their skateboards through the town. And she looks back and she daydreams about things and people she ain't never seen, just to keep from being blue. And she gets home about 3:45 and she drives her brother to the liquor store down on Ocean Avenue. Whoa. I'm parked on the stay line on this cold November day. And pretty soon I'll be a driving fool somewhere down old Hank's lost highway. I hear a voice from my soul's core saying freedom's just a metaphor. You know you got nowhere to go. Got nowhere. And the rain pours down like a holy waterfall over the Gulf of Mexico. Over the Gulf of Mexico. Mexico. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, that one was, I put Ocean Avenue. I don't think there is an Ocean Avenue there because you're on the Gulf, but sometimes I'll sing Perdido Avenue, but yeah, by the time I finished that lyric, I was somewhere in Mississippi and I had forgotten. So yeah, I have a great little sponsor for my weekly shows. You know, I've been doing these since last May, and last May, and every Sunday, because all my gigs got canceled, you know, because of the COVID thing, I started doing a little Sunday at 6 live stream on Facebook. And over the summer, a friend of mine who owns the print shop that does our merchandise and stuff, he was like, "Yeah, I'd love to sponsor your show," you know, and that was so nice. And he said, "Just give us a plug every week, you know, just do a little plug." And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, well, I've got this concert series I do. And I'm like, you do? He said, yeah, I do this concert series out of my basement. You should come do it. And I'm like, well, yeah. So I went and did this concert series he does. And my buddy's name is Adam Blank. And great guy. He's up in Kennesaw. And he does it's such a cool show. They shoot it totally pro. It sounds fantastic. And you can catch these episodes on YouTube. You can subscribe. It'll help them out, too. It's called Live at the Print Shop. And that's the name of the show. And so not only does he have the print shop, but he does this cool concert series. And you got artists like myself and Driving and Crying, which one of my favorite bands out of the Atlanta area. And Collective Soul, another one of my faves. The White Buffalo, let's see, Rehab. I'm not familiar with Rehab's music. It sounds like a very positive band. They're on there. Let's see, Angie Aparo does a great show on there I've caught. Daryl Scott did a show, which is fantastic. And also, Adam does these great interviews. So they're real candid and real, deeper level interviews than you normally would see. He gets kind of into the good stuff. Michelle Malone's done this show, David Ryan Harris. So check it out. I know you won't be disappointed if you check them out, and they're so good to me every week, throwing some money toward the show and that I do. So thanks again to Live at the Print Shop for their weekly support. And please do check them out on YouTube and subscribe and like and love and all that good stuff. This tune takes place in a little bar somewhere. I don't know where. It doesn't matter. Could be probably a small town. It kind of makes sense when I think about it. I think of a smaller town. And think of the characters being one of these artists that they don't write songs so much as they play other people's music. So they're what you call a cover artist. They might know hundreds of songs, right, that they didn't write, but that's a whole nother art form. It really is. It's not one that I do. Like if I start getting requests of your average cover that people would do, I can't do it. So that lets me know that it's a craft in itself. It's something else, right? But like I've got lots of friends that do that, like Fernando. There's a bunch of them out there. I can't think of any of them's names right now. But there's a shit ton of them. And they're, Absolutely. And, but a lot of us started off doing it that way before we had enough songs to do a show. And I guess the point of saying that is, this person is doing their weekly gig, maybe they're there every Friday night at this little bar, this little corner stage that's been played and spilt beer on a zillion times, and they're playing to kind of nobody, no one's really paying them much attention. They might throw something in the tip jar here and there. But the song is from that person's view, and it's kind of looking at the stage and the room and the town, and then the universe out there. And I don't know if the title of the song reflects on the character or what's to come and what we don't know about. It might be both. But sometimes I think it's about me, and even though I'm different than that character. But anyway, it's called The Great Unknown. It goes like this. Well, it's Friday night, and I'm back again with my old guitar and my trusty grin, and a best you don't come in here sign tattooed on this heart of mine. From a dirty brown shag carpet stage,
sing my song and I pace the cage, stuck up here in the twilight zone, staring out into the great unknown. There's an old Hank Williams figurine hanging by a guitar string from the pull chain of the Pabst Blue Ribbon sign, with a clock that stopped on 9:30. Yeah, the time ain't changed round here in years, y'all. It's the same sad story, same old tear. There ain't nobody who wants to be alone out here in the great unknown. You can find a stool there at the bar. It's designed to take you nowhere far. They got a mirror back behind the whiskey shelves, where we don't dare look back at ourselves. And just past the men's room down the hall, barely hanging there on a plaster wall, a faded sticker on the old payphone that says, "Welcome to the great unknown." It's out beyond the yonder star. It's all up in there where you are. By some cosmic wind we're blown out into the great unknown. Hopes and dreams and ash and dust, it all seems to either rot or rust. Souls wrapped up in flesh and bone, heartbeats in the great unknown. Well, it's Friday night and I'm back again. Thank you. So dreams are funny, you know. Once in a while you'll have a song that comes in through a dream, or you'll dream after you've written the song, and the song will be in the dream. And that's happened with me on this song called My Stupid Heart, where
the night after we wrote it, I was staying upstairs at the apartment above Chuck's studio, and I dreamed I was a camera operator in a Bing Crosby movie. And old Beam was singing this song, and it was pretty neat because it gave me, in the dream, I remember thinking, hey, not only am I a camera operator on this film shoot, but I also wrote this song that he's singing. And he was like, my stupid heart, which doesn't make any sense, you know, like he would never say the word stupid in a song. But anyway, I suppose it's a love song in a way, a strange kind of backwards love song. I'll do it for you here. We went rafting on the Chattooga River a few weeks back for Father's Day, and it brought back great memories of my childhood and my dad taking us all to see Deliverance when I was about 6 years old. My dad was really inappropriate. He didn't get it with boundaries and like what you should show kids and what you shouldn't. I just remember my mom covering my eyes during that one scene, you know, but I could still hear it. I knew what was going on. And you know, all those guys, they did their own stunts in that movie. And now I'm not messing around. They really did on the river do their own stunts, which is incredible. And Burt Reynolds broke his tailbone on one of those things where he flies out during the accident. But anyway, we went down section 4 of the Chattooga, which has some of those same rapids. And I'm not gonna. My son, my wife, and my son both went with me, and I was a little worried about it. We had planned to do section 3, which is much more mellow, and there's areas where you're having to paddle just to go down the river, you know. I didn't know if I was interested in that either, but I wasn't interested in dying, you know. I was like, I knew there were 4 class 5 rapids on section 4, and they measure class 4 and 5 and all that by how dangerous they are, not by the length or height of them, but like, what's the chance of you getting your ass killed on this thing, you know? And so I was a little bit worried about it, but all the guys there at the center, and Nantahala Outdoor Center there, not too far from Clayton, Georgia, they were all like, man, lots of 12-year-olds go on this. We don't, you know, you're going to be surrounded by safety people, and we really recommend you do section 4. And I'm like, and my son, we would look at it on YouTube, and he wasn't so sure, and neither was I, you know. But we did it, and we had a blast. We only wrecked one time, and it was on the first big one. I think they call it Seven Falls or whatever. It was like the first class 4, and then all the 5s we did fine through. I got the hang of it after that. I started learning to lean in and not push everyone else out the raft, which is what I did on the first one. There's a picture that proves it. They were awesome. And I don't know what you guys got to do for Father's Day, but I really enjoyed that. I hadn't been down the river since I was a kid, and we used canoes, of course, because after the movie, my dad went and bought canoes. And let's go up to the Chattooga River. You're out of your mind, old man. A lot easier on a raft, I think. right back to Bing Crosby. My stupid heart is what I blame when the arrow flies with perfect aim and it don't work out like I thought it would. My stupid heart still thinks it could. My stupid heart believes the lies the poets tell. Surprise, surprise, good love goes bad and it falls apart. Oh, so sad, my stupid heart. Can be so cruel, the way it plays me for a fool. It never learns. You think I know? My stupid heart is kinda slow. My stupid heart, it plays for keeps through hoops of fire. It bounds and leaps. It's all for love right from the start. That's how it is. My stupid heart. Thanks. Oh, I got some YouTube tips here. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate it out there, out in the web land. Ron Harper, thank you so much. And he says, thank me and Eddie for making a month of Sundays possible. Love it and looking forward to it all month long. That's very cool, buddy. Thanks. You're one of the regular tippers. Thank you so much. And Nikki Allen is another one that we see a lot. Jennifer Reed, thank you. Mary Fellon, thank you so much. Andrew DiNardo and Dina Tortorello. I never get that right. Dina's another one that I need to learn her name better. Tortorello. If I do this, it's like it works out. Lisa Patton and Chris Lacey. Hey, man, hadn't seen Chris in a long, long time. Thank you, my friend. Lee Marion is asking to hear. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to do that one. But, damn, I really need to get that one down. But I haven't gotten it down yet. song's about 10 minutes long. It's hard for me to get through. And I'm going to work on it, Lee, okay? John Nunnally, thank you so much. And Mary Nugent, no kin to Ted. Thank you so much, you guys, for your tips. That's so cool. And thanks to you guys. I'm not seeing a list on my Facebook page, but I know y'all are tipping too. You always do. So thank you very much. It means so much. Yeah, you can give them a hand. This is people, these folks are all over, not only the nation, but there's some all over the world that'll tune in, and it's always really cool, you know, at 6 p.m. on a Sunday to have someone waking up in Australia or and having their brekkie and watching me on their Facebook page or whatever. It's pretty cool. Fallen fathers and mothers, I hear you calling from deep in your graves. Songs about Jesus, songs about freedom, shackles and crosses, and the way blood behaves. Sailed the great ocean, sold down the river, white fields of cotton, green fields of cane. The sweat from my body, the tears of our children, washed in the blood, and the promised land rain. Sad hallelujah, all the angels they did sing, for promise is buried in the fields and lay fallow. The bell is too broken to let freedom ring. Are the dreams of the dreamers all misbegotten? 'Cause mama's still crying for
we all bleed is the same shade of red. Thank you. Got some merch out there, you know. I don't know if anyone uses CDs anymore, but we've got some, and I've still got a CD player in my truck, and I've got a cassette player and a boom box still, and so occasionally I'll come across an old cassette, and then I've got some vinyl out there of my last record. You know, they started talking about vinyl being a big boom. You know, it's really not true. I mean, it's not like, you know, the 70s or something. There's a little bit of a spike in vinyl, and I think in the year 2018 there were more vinyl than CDs sold, but still wasn't a lot. And most of it's free streaming, and that's how most music is heard now. I think 87% is free streaming, and there's a few percentage that is downloads that you pay for, and then you've got the vinyl and the CDs. But anyway, and yeah, check and see how that works with the people who are the artists and songwriters. Though it's interesting. It's I mean, just look into it. It'll be educational for sure. It's, I think, every spin I get on Spotify, it's 0.00004 cents. So the difference of you know, getting a download, or even in the old days, you'd get a spin on the radio station, right? And you might get 10 or 12 cents a spin. That's how that works. So, you know, if you get 1 million spins, you're doing pretty good, right? But yeah, hey, I'm not like whan about it. It's just the way it is, you know. But I'll always push it just in case someone wants, if they've got a record player or a CD player still, and we've got some T-shirts and all that good stuff. I mean, I go to free stuff all the time. I don't use Spotify, but I look at YouTube. I mean, it's the same thing. If I'm wanting to hear a song that I'm like, oh man, what was that certain song I used to love? You know, I'll find it on YouTube, and that's another way of checking something out for free. You know, remember when we all used to make mixtapes on cassettes? You know, that was a thing. You know, that was also stealing. You know. Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, you can get a lot from Spotify for a little bit per month, right? Isn't that how it works? You get paid? Yeah. How does that happen? Oh, you play your own music a lot. I should do that. It's a great idea. I love it. Smart. You know, I'm about to fire my manager. I'm wondering if... Oh, that's great. Sharing with us what he knows. His shining eyes are big and blue. And all around him water flows. This world to him is new. This world to him is new. To touch a face, to kiss a smile, new eyes see no race. The essence of a child. The essence. He's born to shimmer. He's born to shine. And he's born to radiate. He's born to live. He's born to love. Let's don't teach him how to hate. And true love, it is a rock, and smooth over by a stream. There's no ticking of a clock that truly measures what that means, and truly measures what that means. This thing we call our time. I heard a brilliant woman say, she said, you know, it's crazy how I want to try and capture mine. I think I love this woman's way. I think I love this woman, way she shimmers, the way she shines, and the way she radiates, the way she lives, the way she loves, the way she never hates. Sometimes I think of all that's surrounding me, I know it all is being mine. She kisses me, she wraps herself around me, she gives me love, she gives me time. Time I cannot change. Here's to looking back, way back. You know, I drink a whole bottle of my pride, and I toast to change, to keep these demons off my back. Just get these demons off my back, 'cause I wanna shimmer, I wanna shine. I want to radiate. I want to live. Oh, I wanna love. Wanna try and learn now not to hate. Try not to hate. We're born to shimmer. We're born to shine. We're born to radiate. We're born to live. We're born to love. And we're born to never hate. Hey. There goes the train. Just in time for the train to go by right at the end there. He'll usually catch me right in the middle of a real soft song. I've always loved trains. My family, my dad was
Well, first it was my grandfather on my dad's side, my step-grandfather. He worked for Southern Railway from the time he was he got out of the Second World War and went to work for the railroad, and he eventually became a switchman and was kind of a known guy around there. And but he was a union organizer for the railroad right after the war, and was really fought for railroad worker rights and did a lot of that. But he looked like Yosemite Sam without the hair. He was kind of balding, but he had that kind of spirit, and was real grumpy all the time. But I remember getting to visit him at Inman Yards, and it was early computer days. They had these big things, and he had a very difficult job, very stressful. So no wonder he drank like he did, because it was, if you don't switch the tracks right, trains run into each other, and it's pretty serious. Then my dad, he helped get my dad a job when he got out of the Army, and my dad started as someone that nails tags onto boxcars as they come by to mark what they were. And he said it was like one time it was like a Lucy episode where he got behind. He's like trying to, but my dad had his whole career was with Southern, and then eventually they merged with Norfolk Western, and it became Norfolk Southern Railway. And he worked very hard, and when I was a kid, he had a couple other jobs. When I was a little kid in the early 70s, he also worked at the downtown Rich's department store, back when we had Rich's here. And he worked in the audio department, audio and TVs and stereos, and we had the nicest stereo at our house. Growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, and I never I never knew why we had this great stereo system, and I think my dad stole it, And we had a reel-to-reel player, and great records, He would take the promotional copies and bring them home, and then he also worked at Underground Atlanta at this little hippie incense shop. So he had 3 jobs going on in the early 70s, and he was an interesting guy. I've lost count of the times I've given up on you, but you make such a beautiful wreck, you do. Yeah, there's a tavern on the corner called the Milky Way, and you look so at home there, it makes me afraid. And at the dark end of this bar, what a beautiful wreck you are. When you go too far, a beautiful wreck you are, baby. Now all the plans that you had from 7 years ago, like all the promises you made, I watched them come and go. You put your keys in the car, but it would not drive. With your hands on the wheel, looking barely alive. I'm still sitting here waiting on the passenger side, you to make up your mind, for you to make up your mind. At the dark end of this bar, what a beautiful wreck you are. When you go too far, beautiful wreck you are. What a beautiful, such a beautiful wreck you I've lost count of the times I've given up on you, but you make such a beautiful wreck, you do. Yeah, you make such a beautiful wreck, you do. You make such a beautiful wreck, you do. At the dark end of this bar, what a beautiful wreck you are, baby. When you go too far, beautiful wreck you are. What a beautiful, such a beautiful wreck you are. What a beautiful, such a beautiful Thank you. Thanks. That's fun. Well, you can read it in the paper, watch it on the news. Everybody's got the pre-apocalyptic blues. You better be ready when the shit goes down. You better head on down to Sam's Club, get you a buggy full of rice and beans, a year's supply of 2-ply for your composting latrine, so you'll be ready when the shit goes down. Now don't hesitate, don't procrastinate, yeah, I'll be running scared. There ain't no second chances for the bravery impaired, 'cause you know there's a couple of commies hiding underneath your bed, and the zombie's gonna eat up all the brains in your head. I got a Rambo knife with a compass on it and a ballistic bug-out bag. Got an AK-47, about 100 extra mags. I'm gonna be ready when the shit goes down. Well, COVID and Corona, it's a terrible, terrible, terrible disease. You say you ain't worried. I say, honky, please, you better be ready when the shit goes down. By my jacuzzi, there's an Uzi and an RPG. Got a Stinger missile mounted on my wife's SUV. They won't get to me, no matter who they are. I got landmines buried all over my yard, 'cause I read it in the papers, y'all. I watched it on the news. Now I got the cryptic pre-apocalyptic blues. I'm gonna be ready when the shit goes down. Yeah. One more time. Will you be ready when the shit goes down? Thank you. That one I wrote it a few years ago with Tom Ryan, who plays bass with me. A lot of people know him as Panda. And But it started to make a lot more sense when COVID hit, you know. So I did a little lyric change. Y'all been so kind to me tonight. Thank you for coming out, and thanks to everyone out there watching. Last week Eddie and I were talking about the fact that neither one of us are qualified to do anything else. Actually, he's been a golf pro, and he could do that for sure. I don't have anything else I can do for a living. And so I'm so grateful to be able to do this still after, I started pretty much when I got out of a very short stint in the U.S. Army Reserves. I went through my officer basic course after going to North Georgia College, and they helped me pay for some school, so I had a little bit of time to do, but not much, and then I hit the road, and I don't think I wouldn't know what else to do. I love what I do, and I'm very grateful for that. I feel very blessed to do it, no matter on what level it is. And it ebbs and flows, with fortune and fame and all of that. And I don't care as long as I can keep doing it. And so it's all because of you guys that I can do this. So thank you so much. I was trying to make my guitar sound like a dulcimer when I wrote this. It doesn't sound anything like one. But I love Joni Mitchell, and I was listening to the Joni Mitchell Blue album a lot while I was driving across the desert, and that's how this tuning came to be, which is a little different. It's kind of like open G tuning for you guitar players out there, but it's not quite open G. It's a little different. It's called Out of Tune Open G. Yeah, I had no clue something like what happened with this song, what happened. Once we recorded the song and what happened with the recording with Glenn Matullo engineering, we'd worked together before, but there was something special about the recording. Brandon Bush had a drum machine that could slow down beats, and we started messing around with that, and it made a special recording, a little bit different than what I'd done before. Quite a bit different, I guess. And when we released this record on my own label, it was the 8th record I'd put out. I'd put out 6 studio records and 2 live records on my own, with help of financiers over the years, and sometimes just raising the money from the road. And no idea, I'd kind of given up on any kind of idea of having a record contract or anything like that, a manager or any of that, booking agent. I was kind of learned how to do that stuff, and, to a degree. And then Steve Craig at a station here called 99X, and they had started in, I think, 1993. They took over Power 99, which is a very pop-oriented station, and started playing a bit edgier stuff. But they would go from some of you I know remember it. It was a very wide range of music. They would play everything from Sarah McLachlan to, harder stuff that was more alternative based. So it was like really a kind of an interesting mixed station. It was definitely a mixed type station, but it was considered alternative. And so Steve Craig had a show called Locals Only, and I knew Steve because he would play some of my stuff before that. But he played this song and loved it so much that he took it up to Leslie Fram's office, and she was the program director of the station. And he was like, you got to hear this song. And then the next thing I know, I'm getting a call from her, and she says, bring me a box of CDs and come to the station and bring a box of CDs with you. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, of course I'll do that, because, I just ordered 1,000. That's about all I'm on sale, And so I'll give away 30, that's fine. And she said, listen, we're going to start spinning this song 30 times a week. And I think this song is a smash hit. I think it's going to go past alternative into the pop realm and become a top 40 #1. I've just got a feeling about it. And I'm like, what? Because I've been doing this, like I said, for close to 10 years already. I'm thinking, what? You got to be kidding me. I was 29. I felt like an old man already. I was like, I'd been doing it so long, and I'm like, well, whatever, you can try, And she goes, yeah. She goes, your life's about to change. Just trust me on that. And so I gave her the box of CDs, and what she did with that, very giving person, Leslie. She's wonderful. She didn't ask me for anything in return. She wrote a letter to every programmer she knew around the country, or at least the biggest ones. They were like the top 30, programmers of alternative radio in the 90s. Wrote a letter, sent them a CD, and basically did independent radio promotion for free for me just because she believed in me and my song. And within a few weeks, there was a bunch of stations playing this song, and that's unheard of, really. It's just not done, and certainly not done anymore, but it wasn't even done that much back then. And so after 10 years of doing it on my own, all of a sudden, I had my choice of record companies and managers and booking agents. I mean, they were all on the answering machine. And that's back when we still had answering machines. And all but maybe one or two record companies had left voicemails, and so it was a really cool time for me, and I'm grateful again about just giving people like that. Her and Steve they could have just played it on the local show, but really they didn't get anything in return for it, except to see success happen. And so I appreciate her so much. And I don't know where Steve is. He may still be here. Leslie's in Nashville now. She works for CMT. She's head of creative at CMT. Anyway, I'll shut up and play the song for you, but lay your weary head down and dry your tired eyes. And lay your weary head down and rock-a-bye. She grew up with the children of the stars in the Hollywood Hills and the Boulevard. Her parents threw big parties, everyone was there. They hung out with folks like Dennis Hopper, Bob Seger, Sonny and Cher. She feels safe now in this bar on Fairfax. And from the stage I can tell that she can't let go and she can't relax. And just before she hangs her head to cry, I sing to her a lullaby. I sing everything's gonna be alright. Rock-a-bye.
rockabye. And everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye, rockabye. She still lives with her mom outside the city. Down that street about a half a mile. And all her friends tell her that she's so pretty. She'd be a whole lot prettier, you know, if she smiled once in a while. But you know, even her smile, it looks just like a frown. She's seen her share of devils in this angel town. And everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. Now don't you rockabye, rockabye, rockabye. I told her, I said, I ain't so sure about this place. It's hard to play a gig in this town and keep a straight face. Seems like everybody's got a plan. It's kind of like Nashville with a tan. Everything's gonna be alright. So rockabye, rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye, oh rockabye. Everything gonna be alright. Rockabye, rockabye, rockabye. Say bye bye, baby. Say bye bye. Thank you all so much. Thank y'all. Drive careful home, and I thank you so very much, okay? Y'all be good to one another. I love you. Thank you.